One of the biggest breakout characters of both the Invincible comic and its hit animated series is Battlebeast. And now he's getting his own comic, Invincible Universe Battlebeast. Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley returning to deliver a new story, diving deep into the psyche and history of one of Invincible's most powerful characters. Does issue 1 live up to Battlebeast's thirst for blood? Hey Internet, I'm Chris, and this is the place on the internet where I talk about comics, movies, games, and things I'm generally passionate about. If you want to hear more about comics, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If there's one thing I know about Robert Kirkman is he knows how to sell a comic book. So season 3 of Invincible was obviously huge. Probably, I would say, season 1 is really, really good. It's like up here. And then season 3 is like right here. I think it was pretty close. Season 2 was a sophomore slump, but hey, season 3, they came back, they delivered on a lot of the promise of season 1. And one of the characters that returned in season 3 was Battlebeast, and he had some great moments. And I think it's one of the characters that appeared in season 1 that if you didn't read the comic books, which I didn't at the time, it was just like, I want more of this character. And as soon as Battlebeast, destroys the Guardians of the Globe and puts Invincible in the hospital, he's like, all right, this sucks, you guys suck, I'm out of here. And he goes into a portal and he disappears, and we don't know what happens to him. Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley look to answer that question. So Invincible Universe Battlebeast #1 picks up exactly where that moment left off. You're literally, the opening of the book is that moment. And I think it's cool, especially like when you're creating a book like this. Obviously there's Invincible fans that want more of Battlebeast from the comics, and there's also people that watch the show that are looking for something to sort of, after the season has ended, to sort of fill that gap, and also read something new that can't get spoiled by YouTube shorts or TikToks or anything like that, something that hasn't been explored. So Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley have created this story where you find Battlebeast after that moment, which in the comics is issue 19. I forget what episode of season 1 it is. One of the best, honestly. You have this new story of Battlebeast seeking out a challenge, a battle. And if you know Battlebeast, you know that's what he's about.
At long last, my thirst for battle can be satiated.
In season 3, obviously when he went toe-to-toe with the Viltrumites, you know who he is. He goes toe-to-toe with whoever and is seeking out that challenges. He really has a thirst for blood. And it's a really perfect setup for this series. I don't know how long it's going to be, if it's going to be an ongoing, but the story picks off again where issue 19 left off. He gets into a portal and he goes on his ship. And on his ship, there are a bunch of people dead. He had killed the crew. There's an AI, and that AI is talking to him. And Battlebeast is going through the stars, seeking out a challenge, a worthy opponent to hopefully quench his thirst for violence, like to hopefully kill him. He would like to die in battle. He is looking for that type of challenge. And the AI was quite fond of its crew. And I think it's interesting the way the AI sort of like portrayed, you got this like kind of like, smart, like I just imagine the voice sort of being like a Alan Tudyk. That's just what I imagine the voice to be like. The ship's AI is guiding him through the galaxy and guiding him to different challenges and obviously different opponents. And the first one is this creature that's captured and looks exactly the way Conquest is sort of put in prison, and he was immediately able to break out. So I thought that was kind of like a funny nod from Ryan Ottley. And then it's interesting because like Battlebeast is going through there, and you see sort of like the creature pleading its case and being like, hey, like, I've been stuck here, let me out. And you could tell like Battlebeast is like, I really don't care. I know who you are. I just want to fight you. So I'm going to let you out of here and you do your worst. And it's a great fight. Like, honestly, this book is meant to capitalize on the success of the show. But I think what's crazy is that Ryan Ottley is really kind of in his prime with this type of storytelling in terms of the blood, the gore, the detail. I just think he's like at the peak of his powers. Like, I think when he was at Marvel the past couple of years, he didn't have the best material to work with when it came to Amazing Spider-Man. And then obviously his Hulk run was kind of cut short because, Donny Cates had to leave that. But, like if you just look at those books without the words and without some of the crazy stuff that was going on in those books, you're like, wow, like if he could do something like really crazy. And I think what's cool too is that because he worked on so many issues of Invincible, over 100, he knows this world and these characters so well. And then also, like, he's been on the convention circuit drawing these characters. He knows what the fans like, and this is exactly that. Like, this first issue is like fan service to the max for people that want a Battle Beast book. And then, like I said, it's a great introduction for new readers. Like, it's already one of the biggest books of the year. They've created blind bags for it, all these different things. But I read it digitally, and I sort of like found myself pausing in different panels and just looking at it, and I can't wait to sort of pick it up at the shop today so I can have it physically. I'm probably going to get one of those blind bags. It's just insane, like, how good he is. Like, I really hope like he would get like a Black Label book or something at Marvel that he could do sort of like, you know, without sort of the chains of like continuity and weird editorial mandates. Like, him and Robert Kirkman are such a good pair, and this first issue gives you a lot to sort of be like, hey, this is the series. Like, when you see Invincible season 3, you're like, how did Battle Beast get to that cell? And it feels like this story is very much like, hey, him seeking out those challenges throughout the galaxy. And I think, again, it gives you a new story without like, hey, people who have prior knowledge of Invincible being able to like spoil it, you know? And I think that's fun for me, especially that is deep into the Invincible run. I think I'm in issue 70. I'm reading it on Global Comics. So to kind of have the story of Battle Beast and read it alongside that, I'm hoping this goes on for a while. I don't know if it's going to be like ongoing. I have to look into that. Like, I don't know if it's been clear yet. Like, it's obviously sold a lot, so hopefully it's that. But Robert Kirkman is super busy. He's got a bunch of different things going on at Skybound in terms of the Energon universe. He's got like Invincible, the TV series that he's writing. So I'm hoping this continues, and hopefully it like they create new lore that they can maybe introduce into the show. That'll be really exciting. And the book, you know, of course, Battle Beast wins because we have to see him later on in Invincible. But it's a crazy battle. And Ryan, like I said, before I went on that tangent, Ryan Otley is like at the top of his game. This creature can regenerate. Doesn't matter to the Battle Beast. He's like pulling off his arm, slashing him in half with that. And then when he kills him, you know, he was a creature that sort of took down this empire or something like that. There's someone actually in his belly that comes out, and it's like, hey, you know, trying to sort of speak to Battle Beast's better angels, but we know those don't exist. And when he puts them on the ship, the AI is like, oh, what did you bring on here on top of the food, which is like the army brought on? It's like, actually, no, the food is the actual creature there. I'm gonna eat that. It just shows you sort of like how ruthless Battle Beast is and how singular minded he is. And hopefully we get an exploration of like why he's the way he is. We know some little things and stuff like that, but this obviously free from the story of Invincible and is able to tell and break new ground. Something fun and interesting to do with a really established character that people are excited about without sort of like beating a dead horse. Overall, great first issue. I'm excited to read more, and I just need more Ryan Otley art. If hopefully at New York Comic Con, maybe I could get a sketch or something like that if I could afford it. But Battle Beast, you just have to read this book. The art is amazing, and it's cool to see like a creator like Robert Kirkman, who really doesn't need to make comics anymore just because of how successful The Walking Dead was and Invincible, but clearly is doing it for the love of the game and knows how to really get people excited for the shop. Like, this is a book I'm putting up there with Absolute Batman number 8 in terms of like what I'm rushing to get to the shop for. And what do you guys think? Did you guys like Battle Beast number 1? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.